Songpond TV.
Hello, welcome back to Songpond TV. This is episode number 6, and today, of course, based on many requests, we're going to look at scale or lead guitar playing in particular. We're going to look at one particular scale shape, which I've spoken about and referenced in some of the previous episodes, so feel free to go back and have a look at those. We're looking at the lesson section is going to be on the first, what I call the first pentatonic shape. There's 5 shapes that we'll be covering over time. Today's the first shape, and it would be the most used and most recognised shape amongst guitar players for soloing. It's used up and down the neck, and I can guarantee you every single one of your idols will use this shape in their solos at some point. And today's tip section, which we're going to look at straight away, which is proudly brought to you by Songpond.com, not .tv, which is Songpond.com, which is the fabulous, excellent, amazing new website where you can learn your favourite songs. Bit of a plug there for the Songpond.com guys. The thing I want to talk about with bends is the target note. Now the target note is the end point, the whole point of the bend. We start on a note, so in this case we're on the 3rd string in the 7th fret position. It's a G string, 7th fret. That note there is a D note. I'm wanting to bend it up to an E note, which is this 9th fret position. So it should go to that end target note. That's what I mean by target note. The start note, the target note. So with the bend, I'm bending up to that note. If I miss that note, if I go too far, it sounds really bad. If I don't go far enough, it sounds bad. The target note is the targeted note where we're trying to bend the original note to. Obvious, it makes so much sense. However, when you're starting, if you don't have a lot of musical knowledge or if you haven't got a musical ear yet, it will come in time. Oftentimes people miss the notes, and when they're practicing their solos or soloing away, it sounds terrible and they're missing those target notes. So I suggest, particularly when you're starting out with bends, make sure you actually play the original note, play the target note, get those 2 notes, the sounds of those notes in your head, and then attempt to bend to that note. The more you do this, the more you're going to understand how far you need to bend the string, and you also start drilling into your head and into your ear, your musicality, the musical ear, your melody, the melodic ear that you'll have on the guitar when you're playing lead lines. Listen to your target note before you attempt to bend. Only when you're practicing, of course. Don't do it while you're playing your solo. It's going to sound stupid stopping halfway through your solo and playing 2 notes. So when you're practicing your bends, play your original note, your target note, and bend to it. Simple. Okay, done. That's the tip section for today. Today's lesson section, pentatonic shape number 1. As we mentioned in the previous, I think the last couple of Songpond TV episodes, I've talked about scale shapes, or in particular a pentatonic scale shape, and so I've quickly brushed over it. A lot of people have wrote in saying, well, I want you to actually break that down for me. What is this scale shape you keep referencing and talking about? Well, here it is. Stop me and rewind me if I move too fast through this, but I'm going to move quickly through it and just show you the shape. And what I mean by shape is where you need to put your fingers on which particular frets of which particular strings. That will be the shape that we'll teach for today. Within this particular shape, you'll be able to apply it anywhere on the neck. We're going to look at it though today in what I call the 5th fret position. Now the 5th fret position is the 5th fret up, and of course that just refers to where our first finger would land in this shape. So we actually are going to be putting our fingers in frets 5, 6, 7 and 8 for this shape, but we call it the 5th fret position for the pentatonic scale shape, the first shape. Okay, from the 6th string down, if we refer to our fingers as 1, 2, 3 and 4 across those 4 frets, starting in the 5th fret, starting on the E string, and don't worry about my picking hand, how I'm picking it just yet. Just drill into your mind where I'm putting my fingers. So starting on the E, we've got 1, 4 on the E string, 1, 4. And I'm referring to my finger numbers here, 1, 4. So I'm leaving out 2 and 3. Up to the A string, 1, 3. 1, 4, 1, 3. Up to the D string, 1, 3 again. So we've got 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. Up to the G string, 1, 3. So far it's really easy. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. The B, which is our second string, is a 1, 4. And the high E is a 1, 4 as well. So we've got 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. If I move too quickly through that, just stop, rewind, and have a look at those particular places where you need to place your fingers on the frets. That's all it is. That's the pentatonic scale for the first shape, the most used shape, the easiest to remember shape, and probably one of the better sounding shapes, because your fingers just tend to naturally land on the root and the third and the fourth and the fifth note in the scale. Don't worry too much about what that particularly means, but that they tend to land on those in really easy to get to places within this shape. The fourth and the fifth shapes of the scale shapes, which will be coming up later, they're a little trickier to get your head around. This is a really good, easy one to start with. All I want you to do for this week is just memorize this shape and work your way up and down slowly the fretboard with these particular positions. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Backwards, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1. Okay, I zoomed through it at the end there. What you need to do, get a metronome out or just play a song in the background with a constant rhythm, most songs do, and just slowly walk your fingers over the notes in that scale in time with the song or the metronome, depending on what it is that you're listening to, and then back down. And notice I'm just walking my fingers across the strings. I'm not leaving my fingers on there. That's just as one comes off, the other one comes on. Okay, that's all I want you to do for this week. I will throw in there that the root note, because we're in the fifth position, the root note of the scale, this particular scale in this position, is an A. So this is an A pentatonic shape, A pentatonic scale. The root note is here in this very starting position. So the very first note, that's a root note, that's an A. That's a strong sounding, what I like to call home bass. When I'm playing a solo, that there is also a root note. Hear how they're an octave apart. They're both A notes. They're home bass, what I refer to as home bass. They're good, safe notes to land on, to start on, or to end on when you're doing a wee solo. It just sounds right to end on the root note. So there's one there, there's one there, on the third finger, on the D string. So 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 there, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1 there as well. So 1 there, and 1 there. They're our root notes in this particular scale shape, and they are good, safe points to remember. So remember the whole shape, but also remember where your root notes are in this shape. Simple. I don't want to confuse you too much by showing you too much of what to do with this shape. I just want you to memorize this shape for a start. And then in the coming weeks, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks using just this shape that will sound absolutely killer, that get used every single day in blues and rock solos. So don't forget, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Listen. Use that shape along with step bend that we learnt last week, and just get that shape, bang, memorized in your head, and we'll see you in 2 more weeks, and we'll develop that even further. All right, that's bye from me. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget to email in with your specific requests for what it is you want me to cover coming up. But we're going to run with this pentatonic shape theme, and we're going to develop it further and get you utilising that and playing some really cool killer licks in the coming weeks. Okay, bye for now.
SPTV, proudly brought to you by Songpond.com, where you learn to play your favorite songs.